Hello again, everyone. Yeah, an internet issue there, and we see Hannah's just joined in, or joining in rather.
Boo.
Evening,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, anyway, good to have you along. You excited for this game?
yeah, I am excited. Don't know really what to predict. I'm 50-50.
Mm,
Tough one to predict this game,
okay. Yeah, but I'm sure as a South African, you'll be hoping for Morocco to do well to provide some form of joy for the African continent. Morocco have, of course, made history for that continent, but also by being the first Arab team to make the semi-finals as well. What a run they've had, eh?
Yeah, incredible run. Incredible. I just don't know. You see, I got France in the sweepstakes draw. That's the only reason why I'm rooting for France. I got to bet
Yeah, you
France.
see, this is one of the reasons why I don't engage in this sweepstake nonsense because, frankly, a sweepstake, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing but a Mickey take. But once again, I'm going to share the lineups with you, and you're going to tell me what you think of them. France, as usual, are going to be playing their usual 4-2-3-1. But the big news from their point of view is that they've made two potentially big changes. They will be without Adrien Rabiot in that defensive midfield duo. So Yusuf Fafana, the number 13, comes into the side. And instead of Dayot Upamecano, who's also suffering from illness, just like Rabiot is, it is Ibrahim Konate from Liverpool who comes into the team. Apart from that, it's the same 9 of the 11 who played against England, the same formation. And it's always good when you have those players some players injured that you can call some quality inside. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, I'm a little bit sad that we won't see William Saliba in. There's no Matteo Guendouzi, but there is Olivier Giroud, and I suppose I should be grateful for that. And of course, as a Chelsea fan, you might be feeling the same way about some Giroud coming in. But again, do you see this lineup being a bit too
Pepsi.
strong for Morocco?
I don't know. We saw what England did to France, dominate them. We know what you guys did to them. Though you lost, but still incredible that you guys went all the way and yeah. Um,
Well, listen, we did manage to keep Mbappe quiet, but when it comes to France, it's the poem.
I think
It's a sort of story: ashes to ashes and dust to dust. If Mbappe doesn't get you, then Griezmann must, and that's what happened. It was Griezmann who pretty much won it for us. And we see the Moroccan team in the tunnel right now. Here, the list of substitutions. Obviously, there's no Rabiot or Pamecano. Both are ill, but I mean, Pamecano has been named on the bench, surprisingly, but some more talent to call on. And Morocco have gone for a very defensive 5-4-1 formation. Obviously, the likes of Mazaraoui and Naif Aguerd have come back into the team. Mazaraoui will be the left
what
wing back.
what
Hakimi is
shirts
the right.
are Morocco wearing? Red or white?
They'll be wearing their usual red, I believe, because France are in blue. And so it's 5-4-1, an ultra defensive formation. Sofiane uh, Boufal is on the left wing, and Nesri will be the lone man up front. And this could be more or less Morocco's normal first team, but it is going to be ultra defensive, and I don't see much hope of them, holding out for too long against the strength of France's attack. But if they keep themselves ultra organized and find an opportunity to hit them on the counter, who knows? And then, of course, we have the substitutions. Anthem time now. Whoopsie daisies. I always forget to do that. I'll just be muting myself a bit.
Yeah, no worries. Interesting. Make sure to do get your score predictions. Oh,
Bobby K. Special wishes
yeah,
for Yassine Bouno, Canada born.
maybe help yourself, Bobby. And yeah, do make sure to get your predictions in the chat. And yeah, let's see what will happen in this match. Fiery match. So yeah, just gonna quickly pay and earphones. So so yeah. So yeah. Uh, Score predictions is going to be interesting. So yeah. But Morocco. I've gone very defensive, as Mani said. So so, um, the Morocco lineup. Let me just see. Mm, very defensive. Back five. Oh,
I always love listening to the national anthems. This is one of the reasons why I enjoy international football. We have La Marseillaise and, of course, the Moroccan national anthem, and we find the French President Emmanuel Macron in the stands, along with the King of Morocco. So, yeah, a lot at stake in this match, and it's always wonderful to see political figures coming in to enjoy a spectacle.
yeah, definitely. Uh,
Hmm.
but
Right.
manage
So
score prediction.
it
Score
right. So
prediction.
France should be able to win this at least by 2-1 because I think Morocco will be well organized, but France will find a way to crack them eventually, and it won't be necessarily a pretty win, but it'll be effective enough. Cesar Ramos from Mexico is the referee. Venezuelan assistants, and Morin and Hernandez are the linesmen, also from Mexico. Mexico, as they would say. And Lloris versus Sainz, it could very well be Tottenham against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premiership. A
Yeah,
large number of us fans, of course, are, impatient for the Premiership to return. But for me, international football is always something you really love because you don't necessarily pay for
yeah,
a big pay packet at the end of the day. It's all about the passion for your country.
yeah. Score
What's your
prediction.
prediction, by the way?
I don't know. Um, I'm gonna say Morocco go on to pens and win it. I
I
don't
thought
know
you
one
had
one or no no.
I thought you had France in your sweepstakes.
Yeah, but come on,
Right.
up the
So, by
Morocco.
the way, there's been a last-minute change. Apparently, Aguerd is not fit to play. So, the number 20 for France, um, Ashraf Dari, who came on as a substitute against Portugal, finds his way in. So, another last-minute change to the lineup. And Nesser is, of course, Morocco's all-time top scorer in the FA Cup. I mean, World Cup, rather. Ugh, man.
So yeah, uh, we will be back in one sec.
With 3 goals. And we're just about to kick off almost. It's the usual red shirts and green shorts for Morocco. And it'll be interesting to see how well they play. And they've just kicked off. Morocco are attacking from right to left in their red shirts and green shorts. A pass back to Bono. It's with El Yamik, the central defender, who passes it back to Roman Sais, the captain, who's managed to recover from that serious injury, of course, against Portugal. He literally had to taken hobbling off. Onahi passing it back to the defense, who sort of gets it away. And Morocco still have the ball, and they can certainly make a run down the left. It is Sofiane Boufal, the number 17, another of Morocco's stars of this tournament. El Yamik, Sofiane Amrabat, back to Jawad El Yamik, who can send it forward. That's intercepted, and that will find its way to Griezmann. Dembele now down the right. He was a constant source of irritation for England in that quarterfinal, of course. Amrabat now can try and move away. Many of these Moroccan players will be fluent in French, of course, given that French is one of the official languages of the Moroccan government, Arabic, of course, being the other one. And Jules Koundé clears that away, and that will be a Moroccan throw. And now we see Morocco trying their best to, start proceedings and make things happen. It will be the left wing back, Nasser Mazraoui, who comes back into the team. And he takes the throw in. Onahi back to Mazraoui. And Griezmann breaks that up and plays that forward, but that's intercepted brilliantly by Hakimi to now it's with Mazraoui. Saiz. And that is with Dari, the replacement centre back. Unahi. Hakimi. El Yamik. Amrabat. Back with El Yamik, who will try and play it forward. Ends up playing it backward, really, to Roman Saiz, who will control the ball well. Dari finds its way to Saiz again. El Yamik. Back to Saiz. Of course, Hakim Ziyech can certainly come back and help out in defence whenever he needs to. He is, of course, on the right wing in this four-man midfield. Unahi. Saiz. And that is with Ziyech right now, who will start a move with Hakimi, obviously, and bundled off that ball there by Yusuf Fofana. No relation, of course, to Wesley, but Buna receives the pass back and can pass it out to El Yamik. And that is now with the number 8, Azzedine Onahi. Under some pressure, Onahi, but eventually gets it to Ziyech, who tries to play it forward, but Theo Hernandez is there. And is that in play? Nope. Couldn't be controlled, and France win a throw-in. Theo Hernandez, brother of Lucas, who, of course, started the first game against Australia, but was twisted all the way to Sunday for the first goal on while at left back and ended up twisting his knee. And then Theo Hernandez came on in place of his brother and then put the Aussies to the sword. Just goes to show, blood is always thicker than water. Back with Raphael Varane now from Manchester United, who's recovered, of course, from a serious knee injury to take his place in the tournament.
But Manny, what do you think will be the difference makers for both teams?
Oh, obviously France have, they still have Mbappe and Griezmann and Dembele. They've got difference makers all over the park, really. And let's not forget, it was the unheralded Tchouaméni who scored. And as I speak, it's Griezmann now who's come into the penalty area, laying it off for Mbappe, but some good Moroccan defending. And we have the first goal already, and it is Theo Hernandez who whacks it in before the 5-minute mark.
You're kidding.
So now we see the problem here with Morocco trying to defend a little bit too deep.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding. You're kidding.
Yep. Theo Hernandez on 5 minutes. So I'll run you through that again. it was basically, some good interplay there between Fofana and Varane was able to find a through pass to
Well,
Griezmann, who lost his marker brilliantly. El Yamik left for
okay.
dead. They were obviously focusing on Mbappe, but Theo Hernandez was left alone, non-existent marking there, and nobody was there to really challenge Hernandez with the shot, and Bruno was
One
just,
nil.
yeah,
Five
was
minutes in
pretty much
already.
left isolated, and Ashraf Dari could not prevent that from going inside.
None.
And so
Uh,
Yassine Bruno has conceded his
his first
side's
goal.
first goal. Yeah, no, first goal from an opponent, because the other goal they conceded from open play was an own goal. But
But none. Hey,
I'm
I'm
not too
shocked,
sure
you know.
why. I'm not too sure why Giroud was celebrating, because he didn't really have much of a hand in the goal. But now you can see, with that goal being scored on 5 minutes, it is France 1, Morocco nil, and clearly Morocco have to clear their lines and start building up again. And this is the problem, Hannah, when you play with a five-man back four. It either looks very safe or very clunky and clumsy.
Yeah.
And on this occasion, it was made to look clumsy. Ziyech, Hakimi from Paris Saint-Germain. A lot has been made of the potential battle between him and Kylian Mbappe, teammates, of course, at Paris Saint-Germain. But at the moment, it isn't either of them who's having the first say. It's Theo Hernandez, who's had a magnificent tournament after coming in for his brother. Roman Saiss, El Yamik. And of course, I just informed the viewers that there was a last-minute change. Naif Egerd simply wasn't past fit, so Ashraf Dari, the number 20, has come on in this place. And trying to make something happen
Yeah.
down the left, but Mazraoui wasn't able to get to that through ball, and it will be Jules Koundé to take the throw. So again, nobody really marking Hernandez on the left. And so he's another difference maker who's certainly been able to overlap beautifully down the left and whip in a few crosses. They've got different makers all over the pitch, son.
Yeah.
Amrabat. And brilliant work there from Hakimi to twist Hernandez all the way around. But Hernandez
And you haven't
does come
even pulled
back.
up the game yet. I'm still sorting stuff out.
And
Oh, so it's already
the
one
referee
goal.
waves play on.
Oh.
No foul there by Yusuf Fofana. And that is Hernandez once again, who comes down the left. Hernandez against Amrabat. And it does find. Well, it was briefly in the penalty area, but eventually cleared. But
Big up yourself, Chelsea fan.
it is
I
back
love
with
them, love them
Raphael
fans, yeah.
Varane,
Who
Jules
doesn't
Koundé,
keep
Antoine
keeping
Griezmann,
keep smashing
Koundé,
it.
back to Varane, Chouameni,
Come
Theo
on.
Hernandez, hoping to find. Well, it wasn't. Wanted to find some room down the left, obviously, but couldn't do so. I believe it was Mbappe he was looking for. But Morocco can break now through a combination of Ziyech and Hakimi, but Ziyech sends that a little bit too long, and Hakimi is unable to get on the end of that. And yes, I do know that England did cause France a few problems, but the problem was we huffed and puffed, but couldn't score a goal from open play, and Lloris made some really, really good saves in that game. This is, of course, Lloris's 144th cap for his country, and one gets the idea that this could very well be the end of his international career, regardless of what happens, of course, in this semi-final.
Yeah. Manny, on what minute are you?
9:08, 9:10.
Okay.
What about you?
10 seconds. 10 seconds. So, yeah.
Okay. And Walid Regragui
Oh,
there,
go
who
on.
had
Go
to
on.
make a last-minute change to his starting lineup, now has to deal with the prospect of his team being 1-0 down. He set the team up ultra defensively, but they've been breached. Ounahi he can certainly shoot, and Lloris is forced into making a fine save with his left hand. So Morocco are coming back, and you could say that that's the first shot in a semblance of anger. And
Oh,
Azzedine
what
Ounahi
a
there being
save
given some
there.
space in the middle.
What an incredible save.
Yeah, you can see that. That was a fine save. Azzedine Ounahi there being
Come on,
given
bro.
some space to shoot. So I get the idea. You cheer for Morocco as a fellow African, but then if France win, you're happy because your sweepstakes is safe. Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, never get involved in this sweepstakes nonsense. Nothing but a Mickey take. Soufiane Boufal down the left,
but,
and
but I
the
can't
referee
lose,
waves that
so I can't
not
lose.
a foul. Play on, he says. And
But
I suppose
let's
one
say
could... Go ahead.
let's say France do go through. Surely, surely France, surely Argentina are the favorites versus this France team.
It's hard to say. I think, as I've told you, it's not just Mbappe, it's Griezmann, it's Theo
Oh,
Hernandez.
Dembele.
And speaking of Mbappe, it's he is offside.
Oh, foul? There, foul goal.
But
Offside.
listen, we're going to take a look at this shot again. Unahi curling it beyond Varane. And old reliable Hugo Lloris is there. Very strong left hand. One could almost be cynical and call that a camera save, but he was able to divert that away from the on-rushing Moroccan attacker. So that's some pretty good play there. Griezmann. Back to Tchouaméni. Koundé. Amrabat slipping, unfortunately. And Konate gets that to Theo Hernandez, who
Morocco.
has certainly made the difference so far with the goal, and of course down the left wing in this tournament. Probably been the best left back all tournament, one would say. Dembele. Varane. And that is Konate from Liverpool. Varane from Manchester United. Griezmann from Atletico Madrid, and that will be a Moroccan throw. The referee so far has not really awarded any free kicks. I think he's wanted the game to flow, but the French have shown a bit of a tendency to be a bit over-aggressive in their tackles, Upamecano certainly being an example, not in the side today.
That's one tactical thing we have seen that France situated is Morocco usually wants the teams to go through the middle and not go out wide, and we have seen so far in this game that Griezmann he shifts to the wings. He doesn't want to face Amrabat, go face to face, because Amrabat is going to destroy. So it goes wide, spreads it wide, right? Fofana, he's also going wide. They're going wide through the wings, pressuring Hakimi, and the other one.
Mazraoui. The left wing back, right? Mazraoui.
Oh, come on. Come on, Marco. At least get a goal.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. And I think a lot will probably depend on how Soufiane Amrabat and Azzedine Ounahi will handle the middle. But, with Hakimi and Ziyech, that is a potent combination down the right. And, of course, Boufal has been quite impressive down the left, as has Mazraoui when he's been able to overlap. So I get what you're saying. I mean, Griezmann obviously wants to have the freedom to move a little bit further around the pitch. And here we see the first free kick being given. It's in Morocco's favour. Certainly not one threatening goal, but one that could lead to a possible attack. It's Hakimi and Ziyech who are standing over that. Ziyech, of course. Oh, of course, Ziyech from Chelsea with Morocco. How impressed have you been with him in this tournament? And I'm sure you might be salty that he hasn't been able to produce that for Chelsea as often as you want.
Nah, it's not relevant for us. Like, unless you play Tottenham, then yeah, it's relevant. But other than that, yeah, it's not relevant.
Yeah, well, you see, he was he who whipped in that free kick, left-footed, certainly into the penalty area, but that was headed away. Dembele now, of course, down the right, passes it back to Tchouaméni. And Koundé
but
now.
how good has Theo Hernandez been this tournament?
I told you, he's been terrific. What do you think?
he's been like I want him at Chelsea. Just imagine because I know we got Cucurella and Ben Chilwell, but he will bring that tenacity. Um, him and
Mm,
Rodrigo the ball. Just think in them destroying, they would be destroying.
yeah,
Like both
well,
as
De
those
Paul plays
tenacity.
on the right of midfield and Hernandez is a left back, so they wouldn't combine. But I get your
Yeah,
point, and obviously with Chilwell being injured, you will certainly need some cover. So the question is, when
and
Chilwell gets back
Cucurella
to
is just.
fitness, yeah, but then when Chilwell gets back to fitness, would you trust Chilwell and Hernandez or Cucurella and Hernandez? As I say that, Amrabat has the ball and will try and start an attack. Now he playing it forward to Boufal, who can
I
certainly run by
I
himself.
don't.
He's being pressured by Dembele. Finds
Go on, go on.
Ziyech, who, well, now we know why Ziyech is left-footed and not really right-footed. But some great work there from Soufiane Boufal, who was able to. I get what you're saying now, because obviously, despite being on the wing, Boufal has now moved into the centre and certainly been able to. I mean, that pass to Ziyech was terrific, but Ziyech's
Even
right
both
foot is clearly his
he's been
Ziyech's right foot.
magnificent.
Yeah, but Ziyech's right foot is clearly his wrong foot. And it's Olivier Giroud now in the penalty area. And, well, it's another shot out of anger. I believe that might very well have hit the post and gone behind.
Oh my days! How's he getting outpaced by Giroud? Oh, what a shot! Oh,
Yeah. Bang off the post
ooh,
and
what
behind.
a shot! Olivier Giroud, baby.
Yep.
What
Yep.
a
Yep. Yep.
pass!
He used to do that for Arsenal. He used to do that for Chelsea. Now he's with AC Milan. We never should have let him go, but then we did get Aubameyang in instead, and we won the FA Cup with him. So, is what it is.
Yeah,
But then we lost
and
the
we
Europa
let him
League
go for
final.
Timo Werner. We let him go because we got Timo Werner. Yeah,
Yeah, but then you also won the Europa League and the Champions League with him.
yeah. And let's remember that bicycle kick he scored the Sportel. Oh my day! I was nervous for that game.
Yeah.
I
Well, at
I
the
woke
moment,
I woke up like 5 early, early just to check the score. What was the score? Oh, and listen to the
yeah,
reviews. Wow, I still
yeah.
remember.
Well, it is Ziyech now who will
Not
try
sorry,
and
not
send it
Porto,
forward,
Atletico.
finding
Atletico.
Mazarawi, but Koundé should have his measure. And will that be a Moroccan throw or a French throw? It's a French throw to be taken by Jules Koundé.
Seems like Griezmann is dropping into field outnumbering the Morocco players, which
Exactly, and
which we didn't expect. And I think most people didn't expect it. And he certainly didn't really do that versus England. Um, but yeah, seems like most the signs there, or a girl with the strapping on.
yeah, I think it was probably a warm-up injury because he was named in the starting lineup by Reguaji, but Reguaji, yeah. But I think last-minute injury meant that he had to drop out.
Oh,
Cesar Ramos, of course, once again the referee, who's only awarded one free kick so far. A few meaty challenges with people taking albeit out of one another have pretty much gone unpunished. This is, of course, the last time the Al Bayt Stadium will be used. Unless, of course, I mean, I don't know where the third and fourth place match will be played. I know the final will
I
be at the Lusail Stadium.
I can quickly find out for you, money. But I but I don't think they should make that defensive change. If I'm honest, I think that this back five thing has not worked for them. If I'm
Yeah.
honest, yes,
Yeah,
not
I think
worked.
Ashraf Dari has been a bit of a weak link there because, he was brought on to earn his fifth cap, I think, and this is his sixth cap. And already on the 20-minute mark, we see Riguazi making a change. And Roman Saiz, who I think wanted to play but clearly wasn't able to, last too long. This is the disappointing thing because if you aren't quite fit to play, you don't think you can last the distance. You can't really just put yourself in like
Yeah.
that. A rather selfish
Time's coming
thing
off.
there.
The third place game um, is going to be played at the Khalifa International Stadium.
Khalifa,
Uh,
thank you very much indeed. So
yeah.
94% pass completion, but nowhere near a full stint. And it will be Salim Amala, the number 15, who comes on in his place.
Yeah,
And
time's coming off.
Morocco,
It was a risk playing. It was a risk. And yeah, the
very.
risk didn't pay off. We
It what
should have kept him super Chelsea. Yeah, probably should have.
exactly? He never ever should have put himself in the position to play if he wasn't 100% fit. Unahi. And so, of course, that enforced change means that Sofiane Arambat has the captain's armband. Mazraoui, Unahi, trying to play it forward but conceding a
Yeah.
throw. And it looks as though Morocco started to go a little bit limp, don't you think?
Mm, I think they have now switched to a back four, and Amrabat is dropping deep to form part and of
Mm.
that back three. I just want to see how do they line up. Is it now three in midfield?
Well,
Um,
certainly you're right about the back four because it looks as though Ashraf Dari and El
yeah, I
Yamik
think
are
it's
the
now
two.
a 4-3-3 if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, or maybe a 4-2-3-1. One with that
Yeah.
extra midfielder.
Yeah. So
Um,
again, it just goes to show playing a back three with two wing backs is never ever a safe strategy. As long as it
yeah,
means that Hakimi and Mazraoui will still do their bit along the wings, that's enough. I think with Amala being a midfielder, it means that there will be two centre backs in El Yamik and Ashraf Dari.
yeah.
So
I,
it could very
I
well
see.
be a
I
4-3-3.
see.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Now I saw we got a new subscriber, so be up to whoever that is. Be up yourself. And yeah, feel free to put in comments and ask us some questions. So yeah, but sorry to interrupt. Go on.
No, it's all right. And Boufal trying to make a nuisance of himself, but conceding a free kick there, and France can clear their lines. Will Morocco have at least have been able to have one shot on target, forcing Lloris into a save? Azzedine Nahi there with that shot, but apart from that, it's been disappointing really from Morocco so far. I think it's fair to say that Reguagi has, you know,
Yeah.
I think he probably choked a little bit when he named the starting lineup. Because again, it's one thing to go be defensive, but then naming three centre backs is always a risky strategy now. And this tournament could very well see the end of the three at the back strategy. Bruno now has the ball under pressure from Giroud, and Dari will now try and clear that away under pressure, which he does. Finds Kanate though, Amala, Ziyech, who is impeded by Kanate, and that will be a Moroccan free kick. And as I've said, several of these Moroccan players will be fluent in
Foul?
French.
Yeah, foul there.
Yeah, several of these Moroccan players will be fluent in French, given that French is one of the two official languages of the Moroccan government. But many of these
Yeah.
players also have origins from the Netherlands and from Spain, but also with Moroccan blood, and that's what unites them. So definitely what you'd call a melting pot team. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think most of these Moroccan players weren't even born in Morocco, but have Moroccan parents or Moroccan grandparents. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Hakimi actually was born in Spain, and I thought that Bruno, the goalkeeper, was born in Spain, but it turns out he was actually born in Canada. But he has, of course, been playing in Spain for the last few seasons, and he was the Zamora Trophy winner. Bruno actually
Is
was
he?
a reserve to the number 12, Munir Mohammadi, but the tables have turned. And now, could we see a possible Moroccan attack? Amala taking it forward, and that shot was blocked from, I believe it was Hakimi who had that shot. Unahi now, excellent work from him, but
Yeah.
well, the referee has in fact awarded a Moroccan free kick, and Morocco are
Oh,
starting to find a way back into the game, which will certainly
oh,
give them a little bit of confidence, but we'll see how it affects them going forward. Unahi, Ilyamik, Dari to Hakimi. And that is Ziyech on the right to Hakimi. Amala's trying to go forward. Ziyech now has the ball on the right, but the ball has been taken off him. But some action there in the penalty area, but Hernandez was fouled, and that will be the first booking of the day to Sofiane Boufal. He's been impressive in, as a part of Morocco's attack this tournament, but
yeah. It tried to get the ball there,
well, I
but
mean, that's certainly a dreadful decision there from the referee because it looks as though Boufal was the one who was fouled. And I think Ramos over there probably took a look at
that's a clash.
Hernandez. That
Nobody
is a
got the
poor
ball. That's
decision
a
from the referee,
clash.
really. That's a poor
That's a
decision from the
clash.
referee. A
Come
poor
on.
decision.
How's that a foul? Like, that's a
Of
clash.
course,
That's
it's
a
not a foul.
clash.
If anything, Morocco could very well have claims for a penalty. I think maybe because at the point of impact, the referee Ramos probably thought that Boufal kicked Hernandez. But a replay of the goal, Hernandez making a nuisance of himself, trying to get it to Mbappe. Everybody's watching Mbappe. Nobody's watching Theo Hernandez. And an acrobatic sort of kung fu style whack into the goal. No one will be stopping that. And Morocco,
Oh,
thanks
what a
to
finish.
France's number 22, Morocco are in a catch 22. If they want to attack, they have to defend first. But if they want to defend, they've also got to try and attack.
But if Fernandes was to go off, they don't have a replacement for him because his brother Lucas Hernandez, who also plays as the left back, was the first choice. Then I think Lucas Hernandez got injured in the group stage. I think to
Yes,
not.
he got
I
injured.
don't think
He got injured against Australia.
is it Australia? Yeah, got injured against Australia. Then Lucas had to come. Oh, sorry, Fua had to come in. So yeah, but we see the Moroccan crowd. They love as ever.
Hmm. Well, that is a good question. It could very well be that the number 2, Pavard, might come on as a wing back. I know Pavard's normally a right back, but with Koundé occupying that position, Pavard could very well come on to replace Theo Hernandez because I'm not too sure Deschamps put that much thought into getting another left back in the squad.
Go on, Buffon. Go on.
Disasi is a centre back. Maybe someone like
Oh, go on,
maybe
Giroud.
someone maybe
Turning
maybe
back the
someone like a
clock.
Camavinga can come on. Yeah, and the foul committed there by the substitute Amala, and that will be a France free kick. I think for now, though, Theo's fine. He's just shaken off the injury and he'll be able to continue. It would, of course, be tragic if both brothers were to get injured without being able to play the World Cup final. If assuming, of course, France go through, but now we're almost coming up to the half-hour mark, and there is still time for Morocco to come back. I think they're probably going to have to bring on the likes of the number 11, Abdelhamid Sabiri, who, of course, scored that brilliant goal against Belgium, to try and lend some bite into the attack, maybe. At the moment, it's Samala, who's trying to provide some bite at the Al Bait. Unahi laying it off there to Ziyech, trying to move around the defense, passing it to Mazraoui in the center. Gets it to Boufal on the left. Boufal now up against Koundé. Laying it through to Mazraoui. Case of an offside, perhaps? No, there isn't. Now the linesman raises his flag. The shot from Unahi goes wide, but in any case, even if it had gone in, it wouldn't have counted. So Mazraoui there just sort of straying a little bit too far forward, really. Yeah. A shame. He couldn't control his run, but I think the Moroccan players, when they saw Mazraoui going off, also were resigned to the fact that it wouldn't count anyway. The Moroccans are still in full voice, banging their drums. El Yamik to Amrabat. And Morocco can once again go forward. There are good gaps in the midfield. Trying to find a Nesri, but Konate intercepts and France can clear their lines. Can Morocco win it back? No, they can't because Hakimi wasn't able to keep that in play. Theo Hernandez seems to have recovered from that knock to his knee, takes that throw, receives it back from Fofana and sends it across the field. Intercepted by Boufal to Mazraoui. El Yamik. Hakimi. Sloppy little foul there from his PSG teammate Mbappe. And a quickly taken free kick by Ziyech to El Yamik. Ziyech has now come a little bit back, but he'll certainly try and provide some impetus from the back and then move forward. Hakimi. Intercepted there, and France will attack. Giroud to Mbappe. Actually, that's not Giroud. It's was in the penalty area now. Chouameni, and that is blocked. And that will be a Moroccan free kick for an offside. And Hernandez once again on the floor. This time not clutching his knee and grimacing in pain. Right, so Hernandez once again laying it off for Mbappe. Case of a possible foul there by Ashraf Dari, but the referee played advantage. Unahi, pressured by Griezmann, but eventually gets the ball to Amala. A little bit far for Amrabat to get, and Dembele and Griezmann can collect that and move with that. Griezmann now. Dembele's on the right. Trying to get that through Mazraoui, who has to try and work to prevent a corner and doesn't succeed. So Morocco being given the runaround. You could say that Morocco are on the Roccos. And the scoreline doesn't really reflect how much France have been able to dominate this game, certainly by being able to make some good runs forward. Of course, ever since that first goal, they haven't been able to really test Yassine Bouno that much. Giroud, of course, with a thunderous strike that cannoned off the post and behind. But it is a corner by Antoine Griezmann on 34 minutes. Left-footed in-swinger from the right. It's in the penalty area, and Fofana ends up hooking that over, fly half style, and that'll be a Moroccan goal kick. So Ashraf Dari. Back to Bono. El Yamik. Bono.
Yeah.
El Yamik again. Back again to Bono.
Oh, Bono. What can I do? Come on. Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, one of France will suit me. I go through on a sweepstake.
Yeah. But again, as I said, no sweepstakes. And Chouameni now is able to run through, barrels through the midfield, into the penalty area. And, well, he was able to get past
Penalty?
Bruno, but not past the defender. And this follow-up shot from Giroud is wide. Well, once again, the French are cutting through Morocco like a knife, a hot knife through
Yeah,
butter. And you can see the
Giroud.
work was done by Chouameni.
Giroud.
Blistering run through the midfield. Mbappe trying to get through, but cleared away by El Yamik. And Giroud trying to hook that into the net, but only sending that wide. So as I said, Morocco are on the Roccos. They've been Roccoed back on their heels. Ashraf Dari. El Yamik. Back to Dari. And some patient play
I
is
think
required, but
if
France are
if
snapping
Giroud
at their
puts
heels.
that in the
And
back of the
Bruno
net,
could be in trouble, but yeah. El
uh,
Yamik now trying to get it forward and finds Mazarawi, who can send it forward, hoping to find El Nesteri, but couldn't quite get that move forward. Griezmann now trying to take it forward, and that'll be a free kick for France. Amrabat there clattering into Chouameni. And you can see the blue wave firmly taking shape. And the red Roccos have to try and defend. You can still see the spirit among the fans who still believe and are still proud of their team no matter what. But they're now up against it more than ever. Dembele on the right to Jules Koundé,
yeah.
who can work with it.
No,
Passes it back to Varane. Yes?
no. I wanted to give an update, but do that at half time.
Yeah. Koundé.
But
Varane.
one of France suits me.
Canate.
Because was in I said one of France in my predictions, not Anya, because, but in my like where it matters, of course. I said
Yeah.
one of France, but there is still more than half to go. So
Yeah, there is. But now, if you are that clumsy and sloppy on the ball, France will make you pay. Chouameni winning the ball, only passing it back to Fofana, who gets it back to Kanate. Back with Hernandez, who again passes it back to Lloris. And there haven't been too many stoppages in this first half. The goal was one of them, obviously, and then a few free kicks were eventually awarded. So not too sure what Morocco will be able to do. And some great work there from Unahi. Not able to break through, though. It is with Amrabat, though. Trying to take it forward, but Hernandez wins that back. It is with Mbappe now. Hernandez has now gone all the way forward. Griezmann has also gone forward. He retrieves that. It is with Chouameni, Fofana, Dembele to Griezmann in the penalty area, running past El Yamik, but El Yamik with a wonderful recovery tackle. And some great work there from El Yamik, who is able to prevent a goal-scoring opportunity, but sadly concedes a corner. So it'll be another corner for France. Another left-footed in-swinger from Griezmann on the right. And
inside people.
yeah, you can see the tension among the Moroccan supporters. And this says this corner is about to be whipped in. Griezmann. And another attack. Another attempted goal, but just wide from Raphael Varane. So France are all over Morocco like a bad blue rash. Normally rashes would be red, but this time the rash is blue in color. Amrabat. El Yemik. Back to Bouna. 40 minutes gone, 5 minutes of the first half remaining, plus stoppages, if any. And I'm sure there are stoppages, of course. The if any is a bit redundant, really. Jawad El Yamik just walking with the ball now, acres of space in front of him. Amala, the substitute. Passing it forward, but Boufal was unable to control that, and that goes straight to Hugo Lloris. Varane. Chouameni. Back to Varane. Back to Lloris. Varane again. Koundé. Varane. Konate. Back to Varane again. Just some interplay among the defence. But can Koundé drive it forward? Yes, he can. Looking for Dembele on the right. Does he find Dembele? No, that's gone a bit too far forward. And this is the second semi-final for which they're using that new ball, Al Hilm. Not too sure how special the Al Hilm ball will be. I will find that out and tell you during the halftime break. At the moment, through Al Yamik, Morocco are trying to start something. It is back with Ashraf Dari, who gets it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui sends it forward, right-footed. But that goes straight to Lloris. The Adidas Al Hilm ball, which will be used for the semi-finals.
Screw you. Nah, we had an embarrassing game today. Glad I didn't do the Watchalong. Luckily, I couldn't do the Watchalong. Oh, luckily I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about the cricket Watchalong. I think it slipped my mind. But anyway, listen, when the Football World Cup is going on, I don't think there are many other sports that matter at the meantime. Ziyech trying to find a teammate, but instead Griezmann intercepts that. Great work by Boufal, but again, Chouameni gets it back. It is with Mazraoui now, and Mazraoui very nearly loses that to Dembele, but somehow keeps it. Salim Amala. Amrabat, rather. And that is with Hakimi, who can go forward. Ziyech is to his right. Gets it to Anahi on his left, sending it forward into the penalty area. It is Hakimi, and Morocco now win a corner with 2 minutes to go before half-time. Excellent. Does the final touch come off Konate? Or yeah, it is off Konate, so that will be a corner. Good defending there from the Liverpool centre-back. Right, so this time it'll be the left foot of Hakim Ziyech to swing it in from the right. Morocco's right, that is, which is France's left. And also sporting a sort of a bandage across his left wrist.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Swing it in, and that is headed up. A bicycle kick off the post. Well, late drama in this first half. And boy, are Morocco getting closer. Right off the Atlas lines at your peril. It's the central defender, Jamal El Yamik, who comes so close to spectacularly equalizing. I think Lloris had it covered anyway, but was scrambling a little bit. Beautiful technique to just hook that over the defenders. Or was that a save from Lloris, actually? We're going to take a look and see. Well, there's a combination of Lloris and the post. But an electrifying passage of play over there. And once again, the experienced Hugo Lloris on his 144th appearance, having to display some agility. The hallmark of some of the best goalkeepers in the world is that they can stay inactive, almost in a state of torpor for about 80-odd minutes, but then when they're called on to produce a save, they come up clutch. Sending that forward to Unahi.
Let's
who
go Africa.
is
Yeah.
now once again Konate basically trying to, impede him, and Hernandez coming back. But it's the second Moroccan corner, and there will be 3 minutes of added on time. So this is a great ending to the half for Morocco, a sting in the tail, as it were. And you can just sense right now, Hannah, that France is starting to get a little bit lackadaisical and a little bit sloppy. Jawad El Yamik spectacularly hitting the post from a bicycle kick. What will happen from this corner? Another in-swinger from Hakim Ziyech on the right. Left-footed. Beautifully flighted. Larissa spilt it, but he reclaims it. Well, just when you thought the Atlas Lions would struggle, they come back with a bang. Hakimi there, causing Lloris all sorts of problems. Lloris spilling it, but there's no one who's able to get on the end of that. And the France and Tottenham Hotspur captain claims that perfectly. So, will there be yet some more action from Morocco's side? The referee having to intervene.
But prediction for added time, money? Will be added on?
Well, I told you that there were 3 minutes added on.
Oh.
And we've already played 1.5 of those 3 minutes. So there's another minute left. And once again, Morocco down the right, once again into the penalty area. Cleared a little bit, in an unorthodox manner by Konate. Hakimi with the throw. And now you see that right side there of Hakimi, Ziyech, and Hakimi and Ziyech mainly are causing a lot of problems. And that will be a Moroccan free kick, or will that be just a throw-in? I think Boufal is signaling that he wants the referee to show a card, saying, you showed me a card very unfairly, and he's still not happy about the decision. But at least he should be happy with this decision now, because it's a free kick on the right wing, and we all know that Ziyech can whip them in with that left foot of his.
Fuck him.
Certainly with a high flight. 30 seconds left of stoppage time. What can Hakim Ziyech do?
Fans. They're praying.
Once again, beautifully flighted. Lloris punching that out. It's with Amrabat now.
Yeah.
And the referee awards a free kick to Morocco. Do they take it quickly or bring it to the spot? Salim Amala over there remonstrating with the referee. Well, you can see, there could possibly be a case for a penalty because Salim Amala is claiming that he was wrestled to the ground by Chouameni. I don't think the VAR people are interested in that as of yet.
No.
Now it's a free kick. Chipped into the penalty area, hoping to find Salim Amala, but that goes beyond him. And is that the last piece of action of the half? Yes, it is. The referee blows his whistle. So at the end of the half, with a most electrifying ending and an electrifying beginning, Theo Hernandez whacking the ball into the net kung fu style from the left to give France an early lead. And Morocco seemingly under the cosh early on. But late on, France started to get a little bit too comfortable, allowing Morocco back into the game on the wing. And Jawad El Yamik there with a chance to equalize in spectacular fashion, but hitting the post. Half-time at the Al Bayt Stadium. It's France 1, Morocco 0. France are 45 minutes away from their date with destiny and a second consecutive World Cup final. So, interesting that you mentioned, Hanno, that Morocco had been forced to go through the centre. It was down that right wing with Hakimi and Ziyech.
I meant like that they usually want teams to come through the centre and not go to the wings. It's not them going through the centre. Like they want to.
Oh, you were talking about France, right?
Nah, Morocco. Like they want to let teams come through the middle and not through the wings.
Yeah, but it was basically through the wings that Ziyech and Hakimi were able to combine quite well. And if Amala had been able to help out, there could have been some problems. And then I think Mazraoui has been a little bit slow, but he's also been able to help out a bit. So there is some hope for Morocco to try to get into the game. I think if Reguagi were to bring on someone like Sabiri, the number 11, who of course scored against Belgium, that would certainly be something that would cause France a few problems. Yeah, Atiatala, of course, against Portugal, but was dropped to the bench this time around to accommodate Mazraoui and, at the time, Aguerd. But then Aguerd dropped out of the starting lineup to be replaced by Dari. So let's talk about this ball, Al-Hilm. It features a unique graphic design, setting it apart from the Al-Rihla ball that was used throughout the tournament. Connected ball technology, which has proved a huge success in making semi-automated offside decisions faster and more accurate. And certainly technology has been the name of the game. Yeah, obviously this ball hasn't been designed to give too much of an edge to people who want to strike from long distances. One of the hallmarks of the balls of the 2006 and the 2010 World Cup, I believe you remember the Jabulani from 2010, and also that other ball from 2000. Yeah, and the other ball from 2006. They would swing quite a lot in the air, so we would see a lot of goals scored from outside the penalty area, if you remember. Hannah?
Yeah, true. It's been this sport definitely is interesting. I don't really know why they have they really have like changed the ball. For me, it doesn't make sense why you do it. So yeah,
Now, as
that's
I've said, this current ball, I mean, this Al Hilm ball is colored differently, and obviously the connectivity technology, his connected ball technology, which means that there'll be some better decisions with regard to offsides and so forth. So obviously the referees are going to get and the officials are going to get all the help that they can
yeah,
get.
definitely, definitely. Uh, but yeah, everyone. I see we've got 2 new subscribers. So 11 away from 300. So be up yourselves. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hop
Um,
on T-Boy's channel one time because he certainly sounds like an interesting person, and he's hosting quite a few watch-alongs of the highlights, which should be good fun. I think he needs to come on one of these streams one of these days. As for France, well, they do look good, but the problem is if they lose their concentration, then that could be dangerous because we saw in yesterday's semi-final when Croatia lost their concentration, their defensive spine, Julian Alvarez took advantage of that, and how? Once again, some poor marking there from Morocco. They simply ignored Hernandez and allowed him to, just whack that in.
yeah. But let let's say this game ends 1-1 in full time, and this goes to
Yeah.
penalties. Morocco go win it on pens or France.
You know what? France actually have a really good record in penalty shootouts. Of course, as I say that, I remember they lost the Euros shootout to Switzerland. I believe that was in the, I want to say, second round. And then, of course, in the quarterfinals, Switzerland went on to lose to Spain, who made the semi-finals. But France do look good on penalties, but so do Morocco. I actually think that when it comes to the goalkeepers, I'd back Yassine Bouno over Hugo Lloris. Bouno hasn't really had a save to make. He's conceded. This is the second goal he's conceded throughout the tournament. but probably the goal which is of grave importance in terms of what happens in the semi-final. And yeah, poor man marking there. You cannot allow Theo Hernandez to be given that room, and Bruno simply had no chance against that. But this game has had more than a few chances, and we're going to take a look at all of them right now. I've got Wayne Rooney, Sol Campbell, and
One sec.
Gilberto
One
Silva
sec.
in the studio. Yeah. Yeah. Taking a look at that speculative shot from Unahi. And once again, Lloris having to come up clutch. I believe they've ruled that as a Lloris save, but that also did, come off the post as well. El Yamik there with a terrific bicycle kick, which probably lost a bit of pace. But yeah, Lloris over there coming up clutch with that big right hand of his. So a save with his left and a save with his right. I think that pretty much was going on to the post anyway, but still some really, really cracking stuff. Both teams, of course, having two shots on target. France's second shot was, cleared off the line, I think. Bruno hasn't had to make a save. But Morocco have shown that they can come back into it if you let your guard down. It's how they scored against Portugal, and it's how they could have scored against France twice. Bruno trying to make himself big, but Hernandez getting the better of him. And so the second half will, of course, be coming up in the next few minutes. And once Hanno comes back, we will resume the match in question. Interesting, of course, to see what substitutions the Moroccan boss Regragui will make. He's already had to bring off his captain Romain Saïss, and of course he was saved having to make another substitution when Naif Aguerd dropped out. He might possibly have to consider bringing on Sabiri, the number 11. Abdelhamid Sabiri, who, of course, can provide a lot of impetus in attack. Well, there's been another cracking half of football. And this is, of course, going to be the final second half of the semi-final stage. These next 45 minutes will determine who will face Argentina in Sunday's final and who will face Croatia in Saturday's third and fourth place playoff game. Yeah, so I am going to copy and paste the link into the chat if any of you want to come on and have your say. Here is the link right now, streamyard.com/. Whiskey Echo Mike 3 Yankee Tango Uniform Echo Whiskey Hotel. And not long from now, we will be resuming our coverage with the second half. Won't be too long. Morocco now have it all to do. But they've certainly shown a great deal of spirit. This is, of course, the first time that they've gone behind in this tournament. So this is going to be a test for them. They've been outstanding in their groups. They're outstanding in the group stage. They, of course, didn't concede a goal against Spain or Portugal. But now they've conceded against France, their second goal all tournament. And Mono has also been outstanding when it comes to penalty kicks, having saved all three.
Okay.
So
I'm just
certainly
gonna
the
get my
front.
drink. I'm gonna grab it. Here's my drink.
A nice little snack for you, eh?
Oh. Once 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 I did a Watchalong. I want to wolf nose. I want to grab a drink, and I got the chips with it. Um, then, but then I didn't drink it for like a while, and I just ate the chips, and it was like drinking chips. Nice one. uh,
Oh, of course, that would be drinking crisps.
Not chips. It's not called crisp.
Crisps. You know, it's the sound it makes when you bite it, so it's crisp.
No.
And the Moroccans, of course, trying to gather themselves. And it looks as though the Moroccan boss will be bringing on the number 25, Yahya Atiat Allah. And he replaces Mazarawi, who came back into the starting lineup but has looked a little bit slightly off the pace. I think it's fair to say that in the cases of Mazarawi and Saiss, they never really should have put themselves in contention to play if they weren't going to completely be 100% fit, because, I mean, Saiss obviously had to be hooked off after 20 minutes, and then now Mazarawi is off. I mean, my only question is, how does it change the complexion? Because, yeah, Atiat Allah will have to settle in to the defense. It looks as though Atiat Allah will, in fact, be slotting in at left back where Mazarawi was.
So yeah.
And very soon, yeah, go ahead.
Be up, everyone who's watching. Yeah, just wanted to get that in.
And France have just kicked off with Griezmann passing it back, and France trying to take it forward. Ziyech, of course, receiving that and heading it. But now we see Atiat Allah, who is at left back, trying to play it forward. And that will be a Moroccan free kick. Boufal being fouled at the sideline on the left.
Yeah, come on. Morocco.
Amrabat passing it back to El Yemik, who had that amazing opportunity there to level the scores. Ashraf Dari to Amrabat, back to Dari, plays it to El Yemik. Amrabat. And that is with Boufal. Actually, not Boufal. That was Atiat Allah, the substitute, who played that back. Now it's on the right, and yeah, trying to play it on the right, but no one able to receive that. And so confirmation of the substitutes, Lamala and Atiat Allah have come in for Saiss and Mazarawi, respectively. Giroud trying to flick that on with his head. Amrabat getting that. Once again, some more head tennis going on now. Ziyech this time trying to head it forward. Shomeini heading it the opposite direction. And Shomeini trying to take it forward. Referee waves play on, and so Morocco can possibly attack through Salim Amala. But Giroud's able to come and step in and put an end to that. And it is Theo Hernandez who drives it forward, finding Mbappe on the left wing, who can certainly run and take it even further forward. Passes Amrabat well into the penalty area, but nobody on the end of that. It is Koundé, though, who lines up a shot that is blocked, and that will be a France throw. So now we see the danger. Hernandez and Mbappe combining on the left. Always a danger. Griezmann to Shomeini. Back to Varane. Koundé, Konate. Yusuf Fofana. Back to Konate. Varane. Koundé. Varane. Konate. Straight to Koundé, who will try and get it to Shomeini. He does. Finds Griezmann in the centre, hoping to find Mbappe in the penalty area. And Bruno's down, hurt, clutching his shin.
I am back, Wolf. I am back. And as you can see, I'm drinking chips.
Yeah, according to Mystic Werewolf, that will be chips, but as far as I'm concerned, that's crisp. So once again, you can see the attack starting. Chouameni and Griezmann combining together. Not a sign of an offside. I think they were claiming a penalty for a possible pullback by Hakimi, but the referee wasn't interested. Yeah, certainly no contact between the two PSG teammates.
I don't know when it was wrong, but I think it's kind of funny to see Tyler drunk, but I don't think he has been drunk. But
drink
Manny,
responsibly,
what's your
everyone.
verdict on what is going on in the Rest Talks Football group chat of this Mount and Odegaard?
Yeah, I haven't checked that out, son. I mean, I'm not really bothered at the moment. I'm trying to focus on this, but I'll check that out and tell you. And to be honest,
Nah, it happened, of course, yesterday. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, Ziyech now trying to find Unahi. Hernandez clearing that away, and that should probably be a Moroccan throw-in. And, well, no, it's kept in play inadvertently, and Hakimi is able to retrieve that, but a poor cross there from the PSG right wing back. But it is Atiat Allah, the substitute left back, who has the ball. Amrabat. Ashraf Dari. And maybe, Hannah, as you were saying, as you were hinting, since they went back to a back four, they've looked a lot more solid. Maybe they shouldn't have gone with a back five in the first place.
Yeah.
Ziyech. And now we once again know why his right foot is his wrong foot. Incorrigibly left-footed is Hakim Ziyech. Another one of those people playing down the right. And certainly trying to make a foray down the right was Unahi, but that was blocked. But it is back with Amrabat, the
Don't know.
who for some reason is not wearing the captain's armband. Not too sure who has it now, but we'll see who has it. And it looks as though Ziyech is wearing it. Gets it to Hakimi. Trying to thread it through, but the defense standing firm. It is with Kylian Mbappe, who will try and start something down the left wing. Trying to send it forward, but does he keep that in play? Yes, he does. Brilliant work from Kylian Mbappe. Amrabat giving chase. Brilliant tackle from Amrabat. And the referee waving play on. But with Mbappe down injured, the referee might be forced to stop the play very soon. Unahi trying to send it forward. But Lloris clears that out so that Mbappe can be tended to. And a crunching tackle there from Amrabat. Got the ball well enough, but sent Mbappe flying. Deschamps angrily claiming that should be a free kick, but the referee has not been interested. And I think it's fair to say that, with They call this the Al Bayt Stadium, and I think the tackles have certainly not been lacking in Al Bayt tonight. Of course, Al Bayt in Arabic means the house. It doesn't mean the English bite, of course. And Mbappe is in pain. Certainly nothing too serious, I hope, that will result in him having to go off. But, you can see that the Moroccans have been very fierce in their tackles, as have the French. And the referee hasn't been too eager to penalise too many of them. I don't necessarily know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Mbappe will try and walk it off. So, Hannah, I'm sure you told me not too long ago that you like having a few brawls in football games. I'm sure you're all in favour of having these feisty, crunching tackles, huh?
Yeah, yeah. As long as it doesn't injure my players, I'm 100%.
Well, you're going to have to pray that Ziyech will be safe because he could be a targeted man. It is with Unahi, who gets it to Ziyech. Hakimi's gone forward, but it is with Unahi. Threading it through to Boufal, who's gone to the right. Boufal now again, trying to chip it forward into the penalty area. Will there be a shot? Well, Atias Atla trying to make something happen, but couldn't really get the proper connection with that. But it is back with Hakimi, blocked by Yusuf Fofana. And I'm sure, given Wesley Fofana's... it's in the penalty area now for Morocco. And trying to get it through, but Konate with an important interception. How important an interception was that? But it is with Amrabat now, who tries a shot out of desperation and sends that wide. But this is a really, really good piece of attacking play from Morocco. And once again, this time you see down the left.
Get out. Come on.
Yeah, looking for En-Nesyri over there, but Konate displaying some good positioning. But on the right as well, it's Hakimi, Unahi, and Ziyech combining, and Boufal also combining there very well indeed. So it could very well be that Hernandez might have to come off. We'll find out what happens then.
That chance.
Yeah, hoping to find En-Nesyri there.
Well.
Yeah, hoping to find En-Nesyri there again, but En-Nesyri wasn't able to get into the correct positioning. En-Nesyri has 3 goals for his country in FIFA World Cups.
Is only in the side because of Upamecano suffering from a cold. So
yeah, Upamecano, of course, has been left on the bench. And of course, England did make Upamecano look very clumsy indeed. He made quite a few fouls, which actually should have been in some ways called by the referee. A foul on Kane, which should have been given a penalty, for which a penalty should have been awarded, I should say. And also another foul on Saka in the lead-up to that Tchouameni goal. Hakimi laying it off to Unahi. Back to Hakimi, trying to send Unahi forward, but Unahi tragically slipped. Yusuf Fofana clears. I wonder if Yusuf Fofana is any relation to Wesley.
Don't know. Might check that. Maybe. I will check.
Well, Morocco so far have led with possession. And Yusuf Fofana earning a 7th cap for France tonight. Preferred in the centre of midfield to Matteo Guendouzi in the absence of Adrien Rabiot. And Boufal continuing to make a nuisance of himself as far as
France
are concerned, but once again, no real dice. So 10 minutes of the second half gone, and still 1-0 to France.
Yeah.
The France coach, the Moroccan manager could definitely be...
What's his name? What's the French guy's name? French Fofana guy.
The manager's name?
Nah,
Yusuf Fofana.
Fofana. Yusuf Fofana.
Okay. Unahi. Ziyech now down the right, laying it into Unahi in the penalty area, but some good defensive work again. But It fell to Hakimi, who just couldn't quite get to the ball in the penalty area. But once again, Morocco are coming back with a real sting in their tail. Ashraf Dari, the centre back, getting it to Ziyech on the right, who takes it past Hernandez, but
I think they
hoping for a corner.
should be, because basically Fofana is also a French one. I don't know if he plays for. Does he play for England? No.
No, Wesley is of Ivorian descent, and Yusuf of Malian, so they're not related. That answers. And it's all happening out there. Mbappe basically losing his laces at the moment and might have to get a new set of cleats. This is what happens, when you see a lot more passion in international football, because a lot of these nations are really fighting hard for their country, and you don't necessarily get remunerated as well as you would in club football. But this is where you find so much passion. That's why I love it, really. Dari getting in with a crunching tackle, and Mbappe has to take off his cleats and put on a new one. Actually, it's just his left cleat for the moment, but one assumes that he'll put the right one on very soon. And Deschamps having to make a few substitutions. Interestingly enough, Deschamps did make plenty of wholesale changes for the game against Tunisia in the group stages. Not the best of decision, because that reserve team ended up losing. 323 passes completed by Morocco to just over 200 by France. Great stuff from the Atlas Lions, but so much passing and just not quite the end result they want.
Yeah, but people do check
Yassine
out
Bouna.
the video I posted on T-Boys TV Extra. Do please go check it out. I will put the link now in the description.
Hakimi passing it back to Ashraf
But
Dari.
seems like
To El Yamik, the other
Mbappe
centre back.
is feeling the extent of the tackle. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, the tackle by Amrabat, right?
Yeah, seems like he's feeling it. But yeah,
No,
guys.
he looks okay to me. He's just put on the new pair of cleats because his old cleats had their laces completely ripped off, so there's no way he could play. Hakimi trying to send it forward. Finds Unahi. Boufal now down the right. Can he control it? Yes, he can. Boufal started on the left, but he's now moved to the right. But that was a poor pass from Boufal, intercepted by Shermani. And through Griezmann and Giroud, France go forward. Mbappe on his own. The cutback sort of enables Morocco to come back. But Griezmann now with a shot, deflected behind. And that will be it won't be a corner because of an offside. Once again, the linesman really, really being helped by the new technology of the ball. Mbappe there just going at least a yard off there. But
yeah, I
once
thought
again,
that Morocco would have more control and would silence Griezmann a bit more than they have. But that's one thing I thought why Morocco could do it. But 30 minutes remain.
Is more like the of Argentina. Exactly. And now has been played. So Griezmann is a little bit like Messi in that, you see him just walking around a little bit, but he's able to get into positions away from the defenders and then try and move forward. And he has the ball now, trying to move away, but he's impeded there by Atiatala, and that will be a France free kick. And is this the time for Deschamps to bring on a few substitutions? Atiatala there impeding Griezmann.
Subscribe to T-Boys TV Extra. I want to get that chance of 50, which is possible. It's only 6 away from on that channel. So, oh yeah.
Good work between him and Bello, but back breaks up. Sending it forward through Amala, Salim Amala, that is, but sent back. And Atiat Allah shepherds that out for a throw. El Yamik.
So yeah, just want to check.
But announcing that to Diary. It is with Ziyech now. Hakimi. Sending it back to Diary.
Come on.
El Yamik. Amrabat. Diary. Boufal. And Hakimi and Ziyech between them have had 20 defensive receptions, 10 each. Boufal there getting into the penalty area, but that was cleared easily enough. But Morocco was still attacking and still a threat down that right side. Unahi. Jawad El Yamik. Sending that to Salim Amala. Back to El Yamik. Dari. Hakimi. Azadine Nahi. Hakim Ziyech. Whipping it in, hoping to find El-Nasri, but headed out. And that is with Mbappe, who will control it and try and take it down the left. Hoping to get past Dari, but Dari is there in front of him. And Unahi shepherds that outside for a throw. And you can see the coaches are just sort of study and contrast, really. Deschamps being a lot more vocal, while Reguagi just staying as calm as he can. He's already made 2 substitutions, so he still has 3 more up his sleeve. And he might make those substitutions in the next 5 minutes or so. Deschamps hasn't brought anyone on yet, but will certainly look to do so if game management is the answer. Cross into the Moroccan penalty area. I believe that was Kanate who tried to do that, but no one's on the end of that. Amrabat. Now with Ziyech. Amala there getting that to Ziyech. El Yamik to Atiat Allah to Ziyech, who's now gone to the left. Amrabat. Ziyech. Amrabat again.
Manny, on what minutes are you?
64, 22, 23, 24.
No.
And Boufal was trying to send that forward, but that pass was far too long for Atiat Allah to receive, and we've got some substitutions coming up right now. So, Reguagi has seen enough and needs some impetus. Doesn't look as though he's going to bring on Abdelhamid Sabiri, but it looks as though it'll be the number 24, Badr Benoun, who'll be coming on. He's getting himself ready for action. And France substitution already. Giroud is coming off. No goals for him tonight, and it will be Lilian Thuram's son, Marcus Thuram, who replaces him. Hernandez. And we see Marcus Thuram now, down the left where Kylian Mbappe normally would be. It's Thuram against Hakimi, and no free kick awarded, but there is some promise there. Ashraf Dari shepherding that out, and that will be a Moroccan goal kick. And there's a substitution going on right now, and it is Youssef El-Nasri who's coming off. Hasn't really had that much joy, the top scorer, and he'll be replaced by the number 9, Abderrazak Hamdallah. And the number 14, Zakaria Abukhlal, will be replacing Soufiane Boufal, who's had a good game tonight, but not really been able to find that impetus to take the team forward, and maybe some freshness will help out a little bit. So no Badr Benoun, but we have Abu Khlal and Hamdallah on, and Nesseri and Boufal are the players who've come off. Amrabat, Unahi,
Yeah. I'm just gonna check because.
Soufiane Amrabat now trying to take that forward, getting it to Ziyech in the centre. And Ziyech will now try and move to the left and try and chip it forward. Oh, passage of play there with Koundé, rather, sort of climbing over the Moroccan attacker. And eventually, yeah, that was the substitute Abu Khlal getting into the action over there, but Lloris claiming that. But Ziyech with a wonderful
And
left-footed
he
chip.
was so close,
And
he was so close with
yeah,
that header.
possible claim of an offside there, really, but
He
Abu
was so
Khlal
close.
wasn't able to get it. Yeah. And so Morocco, coming up now to the midway point of the second half, have 22 and a half minutes left to save their World Cup campaign, plus stoppages, of course. And Yassine Bouno still is in leading contention to win the Golden Glove Award for being the best goalkeeper of the tournament. A push there on Thuram by Hakimi, and that will be a France free kick on the left. And Thuram certainly feeling the full force of that. Hakimi sticking a leg in between and barging him over. And I think Hakimi has probably been booked for his sins. Has he? Well, whatever happens, Morocco have to deal with this free kick, which is not too far from the sideline on the left. Griezmann, who will try to whip this away, hoping to find someone in the penalty area, and no one on the end of that. But Koundé retrieves it. He gets it into the penalty area now. A shot. And that is effectively blocked and then headed away. Hernandez now with the header, and Yassine Bouno claims that. As I said, Bouno is still in contention. I mean, he's still certainly in
What a
pole position
block.
to win.
What an amazing block that was.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's an example of defending when it needs to be done. And I think Morocco will be thinking if only they had been smart enough to mark Theo Hernandez, they wouldn't have conceded that goal. But now some action down the right wing.
If Morocco do go
it is
out,
Dembele.
that's what, yeah. And the teams they beat, like, that's the teams you expect to, like, fight. You expect if you, oh, wait. But if you face the teams that you expect, like, the team to win the World Cup, like, you you drew with Croatia, fair enough. You beat Canada, you beat Belgium, you beat Spain, you beat Portugal. Amazing from them.
Absolutely. And obviously, if they were able to beat France today, that would complete a magnificent hat trick. But Thuram now down the middle, and Dari has to impede him, and that will be another France free kick.
That? What so
certainly, so certainly, the introduction of Thuram has added a new dimension to the attack.
Oh
and
no! Go
a good
on.
Substitution there.
Red
from
that's a foul. Get up.
Simple. He pushed him over. I mean,
that's body.
Shoulder barges are okay, but blatant pushing isn't. And once again, it'll be Griezmann with his wand of a left foot at this free kick. So Morocco have been organised for the most part, but for that goal, they certainly weren't paying attention to Theo Hernandez, and that's cost them so far. Being behind 1-0 is certainly not bad, but I'm sure they'd prefer it to still be goalless at this point.
But yeah.
So will Griezmann go for goal, or will he try and send that into the penalty area?
Yeah, after this free kick, I need to go, unfortunately. But Manu will carry you guys through the rest of it. But
will do.
Yeah. Let's wait this free kick. Oh, close.
Yep. And
And
that
but I
answered the
was
question
more
over there. It
in a bit
wasn't out
shaky.
of goal, out of striking range for Griezmann, but he probably wasn't going best suited to shoot from that distance. El Yamik to Dari now. Ashraf Hakimi. Unahi, who's had a fine game tonight. Uh, Hernandez now trying to take that forward. Thuram once again being muscled off the ball. Griezmann. And I think Morocco have pretty much had no real answer to Antoine Griezmann tonight. I think it's fair to say that if France do go through to play Argentina, Scaloni will really have to work hard on his midfield to make sure that they never lose sight of Griezmann. But Theo Hernandez as well is one they will want to watch for. Nahuel Molina and the centre-backs Otamendi and Romero will have to really be on their game. Varane. Koundé. Lloris, who chips that comparatively into the Moroccan half. Dari sends that back. Youssouf Fofana trying to send that forward through Mbappe, but no luck. And Bono can pass that to Jawad Al Yamik. And I think if Morocco do end up losing, of course, the third and fourth place playoff will probably see a few people get a run out. With Munir Mohammadi playing against Belgium in that historic win, I think it could very well be that the third goalkeeper, Ahmed Tegnauti, will get a run out, as will more than a few others. But at the moment, there are 17 or so minutes to go for Morocco to try and find a way back into the game. And of course, if they are able to equalize, it will go to extra time. But at the moment, it's Youssouf Fofana finding Marcus Thuram down the left. And we see the blue wave coming in the penalty area. And Youssouf Fofana there. He wears the number 13, and certainly 13 was not lucky for him. Wasn't able to get in any position to make any kind of a shot to trouble Yassine Bouno. It's Hakimi now down the right, connecting with Unahi once again. And Ziyech has opted to stay back a little bit, but now he comes forward. It is with Unahi again, who chips it into the penalty area, but Varane over there with the block, and free kick has been awarded to France. And you can see the desperation on Morocco's faces because they know that they have about 16 minutes left. They know they're getting ever closer, but time is starting to slip away. Handball there against Salim Hamala. Probably not deliberate, but certainly one which warranted a free kick, and it was given. Konate. Varane. And this should probably be Gouagi's final substitution of the 90 minutes. He'll be bringing on the number 16, Abdesamad Izalzouli, giving some final instructions. And with 15 minutes to go, it'll be interesting to see what sort of an impact Morocco's number 16 will have. If it's anything like the impact Croatia's number 16 had against Brazil, that would be welcome indeed. But it is with the substitute, the number 9, Hamdallah, on his own, but took it a bit too far. Abu Khalal, the other substitute, who came up at the same time. Atiatala, a substitute who came on at the beginning of the second half. And that attack is effectively broken up, and Ousmane Dembele can now take it down the right. Finds Chouameni in the centre, going in the centre. Thuram now down the left. And you can see basically that while Morocco certainly not lacked endeavour in trying to attack, the experience and the poise of the French passing has pretty much proved the difference. And they're going to take their time, slowing the game down a little bit. And that 5th-minute goal from Theo Hernandez is still the difference. After that, it's been an exceptional game. I mean, not exceptional necessarily, but it's certainly been a game with chances at both ends. And Yeah, you can see over here the substitute, Hamdallah, doing some great work coming up against the defense, but not really having the confidence to shoot and taking it a little bit too far. So there is some capability, there is some hope. And I'm getting some messages right now on Instagram from a few friends saying that Morocco must find a way to score. I'm sure hopeful for the sake of my Moroccan friends and fans of the Atlas Lions that they do. It would be a dream scenario if Morocco were able to get to the final, but they can certainly look back on what has been a magnificent campaign. Abu Khlal very nearly had that, but it's been taken off him. El Yamik now trying to send that forward, and he finds it is with Atiatala now down the left. Atiatala against Koundé in the penalty area, and an attempted cross. Actually, that wasn't Atiatala, that was Hamdallah who had the ball. And we're going to take a look at this again. Some terrific footwork from the substitute, the number 9. A few step overs, but Lloris was never going to be troubled by that. Well, Atiatala was involved in the build-up, but Hamdallah was the one who tried to take it forward. And it is the substitute, Salim Amala, who came on earlier in the game to replace Roman Saiz. Put in a good shift, but he goes off for Abdesamad Ezal Zoli, the number 16. And so there's the best part of 12 minutes left plus stoppages, and France are making a second substitution. Ousmane Dembele has put in a terrific stint on the right wing. He's certainly run a good race tonight. 82% pass completion, 9 kilometers run. Probably not the best in terms of passing by his standards, but he comes off for the number 12, Randal Kolo Muani. So it looks as though game management is the name of the game for Deschamps right now. Some head tennis going on. Thuram winning that, but and a poor giveaway there from El Yamik. And Youssouf Fofana can try and work something with that. But the substitute trying to get in the way of that. But it is back with Thuram now in the penalty area. Mbappe. Still Mbappe. Getting it through. And that surely is that. It's the substitute. Kolo Muani. Barely seconds after coming on to replace Ousmane Dembele, he leaves impact on the match with a straightforward tap in, and that you would have to assume would be that. And Emmanuel Macron in the stands applauding. Remember the name, Kolo Muani. Terrific work again from Youssouf Fofana. Mbappe turning away from his defender. Thuram, of course, getting it back to Mbappe, doing more of the work. And again, the marking was certainly poor. Atiatala losing his man. Ball watching, really, and an easy tap in for Kolo Muani. The third goal Morocco have conceded, but the second goal tonight, and that really should be that with 10 minutes to go. So confirmation of the scoreline with 10 minutes to go. The super sub Kolo Muani pretty much stamping his mark on the game and pretty much wrapping it up. With 10 minutes to go and 5 substitutions made, you can see that Morocco have pretty much been stretched to the limit. And you can see the anguish and disappointment on the faces of Hakimi and Amrabat. Hamdallah also thinking maybe should have done better. So, France 2, Morocco 0. And we are now just 9 minutes away, effectively, from an Argentina-France final, which will certainly be a match for the ages. Amrabat sending it forward. Can he perhaps get a consolation? Well, it's in the penalty area. And Abu Khlal was trying to take that further, but Choumeni ends up clearing that. It is now back with El Yamik. Amrabat. Sending it forward, but Koundé is there to mop it up. And France's defending has been on point today. Morocco have had a few chances, but Lloris has made a couple of important saves. You could say certainly that better teams than Morocco will be able to punish France for their moments when they've been lackadaisical, but for the most part, they've been accomplished enough. And Mbappe, once again, has been kept quiet tonight, hasn't had a chance to score, but they haven't had much of an answer to Antoine Griezmann, and certainly not much of an answer to Ousmane Dembele or even Marcus Thuram. And a poor header from Hakimi sends his PSG teammate into the penalty area. Mbappe ends up taking it out, drawing Hakimi with him, getting it to Yusuf Fofana, who passes it back to Hernandez. Kanate, Varane. I'm checking the comments now. Yep, you've said it, Chelsea fan. Game over. Because there's no way that Morocco will have the energy to be able to try and come back with two late goals. It's been a spirited campaign from the Atlas Lions, a magnificent campaign by all accounts. One can certainly, liken it to an amazing run in one of the cup competitions by a lower league team, if you will. But Morocco have announced themselves certainly as certainly a team that is capable of tackling the big boys in the world game. Ashraf Dari. Amrabat, sending it forward. It is now with the substitute, the number 16, Ezal Zuli. Amrabat sending that out, and I think sort of sums it up, really. 7 minutes to go. Yeah, so basically some terrific interplay between Mbappe and Thuram on the left. They've been doing their best to try to counter Mbappe, but have not really been marking anyone else. So I think Scaloni will probably instruct his defenders to make sure that they are not ball watching. Atiatala, they're guilty of losing his man. But Morocco is still coming back. Abu Khlal forcing a throw. Well, it is, in fact, a Moroccan free kick for an infringement earlier. And you can see the Moroccan fans starting to look very despondent indeed. I think that second goal pretty much summed it up. But still, they're shouting and they're chanting. They still believe in their team. And as long as Ziyech can float it in with that left foot of his, there's always a chance. And a bit of a skirmish going on right now in the French penalty area. As I've said, some of these Moroccan defenders are quite fluent in French, so certainly a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of niggle going on, and El Yamik has been called over by the referee. At the moment, the free kick is about to be taken. Better part of 5 minutes left. Ziyech trying to whip it in, but that was a short, tired free kick, which was headed away. It is back with Atiatala. Onahi. One of Morocco's, again, better performers on the night tonight. And with 5 minutes to go, you can just sense that the energy has been sapped from the Atlas Lions. If they can possibly find some way to get a consolation, I think that will do them fine. I did predict a 2-1 scoreline, mind you, and let it not be mistaken. France have had to work for their win tonight, but I think Morocco have probably shown their inexperience in a clutch game such as this. And certainly the man marking for both goals has been their downfall. Certainly on the left side, it was on the right side for Theo Hernandez, and on the left side for Kolo Muani's goal. And that was now with Ziyech on the right side. He's in the penalty area, trying to get in beyond Thuram, but Thuram will shepherd that out for a goal kick. And you can see the disgust on Ziyech's face. He knows he should have done better. I think the fans and the players will be looking back to all those close moments near the end of the first half and thinking, what if? What if? At the moment, Walid Reguagi has been a picture of calm. Certainly not been ashamed of his boys by any means, but he knows that a few defensive lapses have cost his side at the moment. Hakimi. Ziyech fouled there by Thuram, and that will be a Moroccan free kick. Ziyech now to Hakimi. Hakimi's kept that in, no, he hasn't kept that in play, and that will be a goal kick. And Hakimi showing his frustration there with the linesman. He's looked okay in attack, but certainly in defense he's been allowed to be stretched a little bit. It's all about the fine margins, really, in games like this. Those clutch moments are what define teams. And there are quite a few Moroccan fans who, for whom the tears are almost about to fall, while the French fans are absolutely jubilant. They know that they stand on the cusp of a second consecutive World Cup final. In fact, the very last time two teams made consecutive World Cup finals, it was with the Argentinian team in 1986 and 1990. In 1986, of course, they were inspired by Diego Maradona, first by that dreadful display of cheating with the hand of God, but afterwards by that breathtaking solo goal from the same Diego Armando Maradona. May he rest in peace, of course. And that tournament certainly was the one which propelled Diego Maradona into stardom. But 4 years later on in Italy, that team was a pale shadow of the team which charmed footballing audiences in Mexico. In Italy, they lost their first match against the Cameroon, huffed and puffed their way through the tournament with an impressive 1-0 win over a Brazil team who had, in fact, dominated them, really. And then 2 consecutive penalty shootout wins against the then Yugoslavia in the quarterfinals and the host Italy in the semi-finals. Sadly, only proving to be the appetizer for what was one of the most disgraceful World Cup finals in history. The worst, in fact, in history at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. 2 players, of course, sent off, Pedro Monzon and Gustavo Dazzotti. Maradona himself getting booked. The Argentinians clearly holding on for penalty kicks and not willing to contribute anything to the game. It just deteriorated and got worse. And the sight of Maradona in uncontrollable tears at the end was in contrast to the joy of the West German team, who, of course, beat England in the semi-finals after a titanic clash and were clearly the better side in that final. This Argentinian team is poles apart, of course. And now we come up to the end of normal time, and 6 minutes of stoppage time have been added. So once again, let me post the link in the chat for any of you who would like to come on and have your say. And instead of Diego Armando Maradona, read Lionel Andres Messi. And the tears are falling from some of these young Moroccan fans who have watched their team have a magnificent campaign, but just come up short in the clutch moments tonight. It will be Morocco versus Croatia in the 3rd and 4th place playoff match at the Khalifa International Stadium. Del Boy, what's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Thanks very much for joining in. Listen, mate, the link's in the chat if you want to come on for the last few minutes and have a bit of a chin wag with me I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we can certainly look forward to the weekend's games, which will be, absolute crackers. Links in the chat. Copy and paste this into your browser, or just click the link. If I see you backstage, I will add you on. And I share your sentiments, but it is what it is. I'm glad you agree that it will be a good final, because both, I think it's fair to say that maybe not necessarily the most consistent teams, but the best teams will be through. And now we see Mbappe running through into the penalty area, but this time Hakimi is able to thwart him. And the game was petering out a little bit with no real pieces of action, but Morocco can come away. No, they can't. The outstanding Theo Hernandez thwarts Hakim Ziyech and concedes a throw. So Mbappe once again turning out Amrabat, but the defense able to thwart him. It is with Ziyech now, and this time the French defense thwarts him. And the minutes are ticking away, and this will be the end of Morocco's World Cup campaign, unless something absolutely freakish were to happen in these next soon-to-be 3.5 minutes. Of course, as I said, Diego Armando Maradona is very much a thing of the past. The present is now Lionel Andres Messi, who has confirmed that Sunday's final will be his final World Cup game. And Morocco in the penalty area with a chance to shoot. And that's blocked. But it is with Unahi, who's had a fine game, trying to shoot. And does he win a corner? Yes, he does. Well, the tears are starting to flow now from the Moroccan fans, who sense that the game is almost up. Of course, with 3 minutes to go, anything can happen. Ziyech takes a short corner to Amrabat, who tries to get into the penalty area. That is headed out, but it is with Unahi. Claims for a handball, waved away by the referee. But headed back by Atiatala rather dangerously, because, fortunately, Kolo Muani, the second goal scorer, wasn't able to get onto that. Yeah, that's fine. Put the children to bed. Take care of yourself, as always. But I will definitely see you and have a chat with you soon. But it's in the penalty area now, and Lloris is able to block that. It was the substitute. Well, it's all happening out here. It's all happening out there. Ez Al-Zuli making a mazy run into the penalty area, but that was first blocked by Lloris, and Jules Koundé coming back to tidy things up. So a nice little sting in the tail once again from Morocco, who seem to come alive just as the half is about to end. It surely should be too little too late, because there's 2 minutes left of stoppage time, but you just never know with this game. Atiatala, the number 25. El Yamik. Ziyech, sending it forward into the penalty area. An attempt at an acrobatic click by Abu Khlal, but a foul in actually an offside right now against, I believe it was Abu Khlal. Actually, it was against Hamadallah. But once again, that mazy run over there, blocked by Lloris. Unahi getting that through to Hamadallah, but Hamadallah just completely fluffing his lines there once again, and simply not able to get into the best position to take a shot and score, or at least get a shot on target. But the Moroccan fans sportively still applauding their team, recognizing the historic run they've had to the semi-finals of this tournament. And I think the Atlas Lions are resigned to defeat and are just, playing it amongst themselves. The tears are starting to come down, but they're tears of pride. Pride in knowing that they've given the defending world champions a very tough game tonight, but have just come up short in the clutch moments. But certainly something to work on for the Atlas Lions in the future. Will they be able to build on this success in the coming years? Well, a slip from Amrabat over there has pretty much summed up their night so far. That will be a France free kick, and France will be in no hurry to take that. The seconds will be allowed to tick away. And allez les bleus. Well, the referee decides that enough is enough. And France are, in fact, through to the final of the World Cup, their second consecutive final. Just preparing the banner for you. Confirmation of the scores. And you can see the Moroccans falling to the floor, dejected. They know they weren't too far away. They were close, but just not close enough in the end. And in the end, they were a little bit too far. But hugs all around. Walid Reguaji knows that he's coached a terrific set of players and taken them on a wonderful journey. Didier Deschamps knows that his team were given a tough fight today. Shaking hands with the third goalkeeper, Tagnati, who might possibly play in the third and fourth place playoff. But confirmation of the scores. Theo Hernandez on 5 minutes. Randall Kolo Muani on 79 minutes. France 2 and Morocco 0. Les Bleus will be facing the Albi Celeste in Sunday's World Cup final, with the Atlas Lions coming up against Croatia in Sunday's third and fourth place playoff from the Khalifa International Stadium. And of course, the final will be at the Lusail Stadium on Sunday. And so what are my reflections? Well, I mean, there's really nothing much that can be said. It was a case of Moroccan inexperience, and certainly during the clutch moments costing them. I think they'll certainly look back on both those goals and agree that the man marking was found wanting. Theo Hernandez should never have been given that much time and space to whack that ball past Yassine Bouno. And the way Atiatala was able to lose Kolo Muani for that second goal will be something that he will definitely not want to remember. As a defender, remember, it's not about watching the ball, it's sticking to your man like glue and watching your man. And so France, well, they're the defending champions. They're through to the final. Not necessarily a vintage performance by them. For all the talent they have and for all the outstanding nature of Griezmann's play today, they've certainly been able to, tough it out when it matters, but it hasn't been a vintage performance by them. And it just goes to show once again, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. If Mbappe doesn't get you, then Griezmann must. And this time, once again, Griezmann was given a lot of freedom to run about and certainly do his thing in the center and also along the wing. And I think the defense just simply didn't have an answer. I think we might also reflect on Reguaji's decision to play with 5 at the back, having Romain Saïss start, but only last for 20 minutes. And then, of course, Naif Aguerd having to drop out at the last minute to bring Ashraf Dari in. All those things coming into the equation, and I think Morocco will look back on those and say, you know what, things should have been a lot better and we should have done things a lot more differently. But, there will be a chance for them to put it right. Can they possibly earn a bronze medal against a Croatian team which has won the bronze medal before in that tournament, which pretty much saw them propel themselves to the status of footballing superpowers? Well, Croatia have certainly proven that they belong in the top echelons of world football. Morocco have shown that they are contenders to be there, but the challenge for them will be to build on this. And I think Saturday's match from the Khalifa Stadium will be an opportunity for them to show that their run in this tournament has not been flukish by any means. So, brave performance today against the defending champions, but just coming up short once again. And France, not necessarily looking very pretty, but efficient enough to tough out a win. However, Sunday's final will be a different story. They will be up against an Albi Celeste team that seems to be coming into form at the right time. And of course, that man Messi is pulling the strings, but the likes of Julian Alvarez, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, and the defending of Otamendi and Romero, Nahuel Molina, and of course, at the back, Arsenal's old boy, Emiliano Martinez. He's got a team that is willing to make sure they put their bodies on the line for him and really, give it their all. And so tactically, I believe Deschamps will have to improve his lineup. He will have to make sure that the defense and the midfield sort themselves out. We should see Adrien Rabiot coming back into the team. And Also, it will be touch and go between Upamecano and Kanate in the center of that defense. I certainly don't believe any more changes will need to be made. Certainly, that looks like a pretty good team. It means that Benjamin Pavard's tournament has effectively ended. I don't see him getting any minutes in Sunday's final, but hey, at least he has the memories of 2018. As for Argentina, well, they will have some tough selection decisions to make of their own. Do they bring back Marcos Acuna at left back or stick with Nicolas Tagliafico? Will they stick with that 4-4-2, which worked so magnificently against Croatia, or will they try and play a 4-3-3? It looks as though if France decide to play a 4-2-3-1, Argentina will have to look to strengthen their midfield. So it could either be a 4-4-2, or maybe they will have to play Leandro Paredes and maybe, off the top of my head, I'm not too sure who can possibly perform that defensive midfield role. Maybe Rodrigo de Paul. And so maybe have an attacking midfield of Enzo Fernandez, Lionel Messi, and Alexis McAllister behind Julian Alvarez. A lot of the tough decisions will have to be made by Scaloni. And at least now he's showing some tactical sense in dropping Lautaro Martinez and bringing on a few people. Certainly someone like a Paulo Dybala can come in and find a way through the defense. But confirmation again of the results, highlights of the goals, of course. Not very pretty viewing if you are a Moroccan defender, or a Moroccan fan, but if you're a French fan and a French attacker, enjoy what you're seeing. And there will be more shots, of course, of the French fans celebrating and the Moroccan fans, just showing the unity that's taken them so far. But a lot of good vibes now. Jubilation among the French players as they hug each other. The French players consoling the Moroccan players. Some terrific moments between both managers, Deschamps and Reguaji. Yep. Ziyech there looking a bit disconsolate, but being consoled, of course. And Yamik there, the centre-back, who had a decent game himself. Giroud didn't get on the score sheet tonight, but had his chances. And Mbappe and Hakimi exchanging words and exchanging shirts. Two teammates at PSG who will certainly look to share locker room again once the league season resumes. But Mbappe now making sure he puts on Hakimi's shirt and runs all the way forward with the French team to salute their fans. And he hasn't realized that he's put that shirt on backwards. The number 2 coming on his back as opposed to being on his front. But the French players are claiming their supporters. They know they had a tough game tonight, and they know that the Albi Celeste with Messi and Alvarez and co in red-hot form will be a far, far different proposition. And not too many shots of the crestfallen Moroccans, but I'm sure they'll be applauding their supporters. Some Moroccan flags are still flying, and the French players being given the sort of a guard of honor as they run into the changing room, even the likes of Guendouzi, who didn't get any minutes tonight. And Deschamps once again has managed to find a way. So, the last dance between Argentina and France, Messi versus Mbappe, and that will be on Sunday evening. And of course, Saturday evening sees Morocco and Croatia trying to end their spirited campaigns with a bronze medal match. It's rather uncanny how it seems to be the case that the bronze medal matches also feature a lot of really good football, a lot of stuff played in good spirit, because both teams know that they have a chance to end it on a high. Of course, third place doesn't compare to first place, but it is still something. And now we see shots of the Moroccan players gathering together. The impressive manager, Walid Reguaji, gathering everyone in, and he knows that they've had an amazing tournament, obviously gathering them to tell them how proud he is of them. And one would assume that this will only be the start of a beginning for Moroccan football, maybe for African and Arab football, because this team have certainly defied expectations to make it this far. He will speak. Well, I've got my telly on mute as in order to avoid getting copyrighted, but I think he's probably going to tell them that there were a few mistakes made today. And we see the Moroccan fans applauding their players. They know that those players have really worn their hearts on their sleeves, given their all for the country. And so, not for the final time, they will go and applaud them. They know they have another date with Croatia coming up this Saturday. It's not really the match that teams would prefer to play in, but definitely a match that has to be played. And certainly a match which I think is worthwhile because it's an opportunity to take something with you. Um, for some reason, the European Championships don't have the third and fourth place playoff anymore, which I think is a bit of a stupid decision. But, well, they've certainly had a wonderful unbeaten run of 5 consecutive games. I mean, 3 group games, of course. But they also have the game from the previous World Cup where they were unbeaten. So it's 6 games unbeaten, of course, now. And a lot to look back on for the Atlas Lions with pride. But as I've said, this has to be a beginning. This should hopefully be the start of more and more African and Arab teams believing that they can compete. Certainly, Saudi Arabia proved that they were capable of doing something good, but sadly, it looked as though that result against an Argentinian team that have now made the final was a case of them really overachieving. And those few freakish minutes were what really upset the Argentinian apple cart, trying to force the issue, but not really getting much out of it. And after a few tactical changes, ever since then, they've been in knockout mode. France, of course, are through to their 4th World Cup final. Winners, of course, in 98 and 2018. Runners-up in 2006 after a penalty shootout, which saw Zinedine Zidane grab the headlines in many ways. A beautiful Chip Panenka penalty, but a reckless sending off in extra time. And, of course, without Zidane, France weren't quite able to, have the upper hand. David Trezeguet missing his penalty at the worst possible time, and Fabio Grosso slamming home the penalty, which confirmed that Italy would be world champions. And that match, of course, was the end of the international careers of the likes of Zinedine Zidane, Fabien Barthez, and Lilian Thuram, Marcus's father, who, of course, were venerated members of that dream team of 1998. Captained, of course, by the current France manager, Didier Deschamps. And once again, highlights of the second goal, work again from Mbappe. Mbappe hasn't really been able to score in his last 2 games, but he's certainly proved his worth as a bit of a workhorse, and certainly drawn defenders towards him and away from their teammates. And certainly the man marking over there, Atiatala, losing Kolo Muani, and and that was that, really. And Kolo Muani, of course, making a piece of history for himself with the second fastest goal by a substitute in a FIFA World Cup knockout game. I'm going to have to find out who holds that record, but we will certainly see. Yeah, a lot of people are basically saying that France didn't deserve to win 2-0. Morocco were the better side. I'm not going to agree, really, because obviously Morocco did have a few chances but weren't able to put them away, and France have just won the clutch moments. And this is another example of how sometimes it's not necessarily the better side that, in terms of possession and chances created, that wins. But again, if you aren't able to take advantage of the clutch moments, and we're seeing Theo Hernandez's goal, which was another result of poor man marking. If you can't take advantage of the game in the clutch moments, you just don't deserve to get the result you want. And the record holder is in fact Denmark's Ebbe Sand, who scored 26 seconds after coming on against Nigeria in 1998, and that was, of course, a second round clash where Denmark crushed the Super Eagles 4-1 en route to the quarterfinals themselves. So, yeah, again, somehow France have managed to find a way to win and just, come up clutch in the moments when they needed to. And showing us some highlights of Mbappe, who's made some, he made some really good runs into the penalty area and certainly had defenders trying to, attack him in vain. Didn't get a sniff at goal, but certainly has been, he was able to do tonight what Messi did against Croatia. So the Messi-Mbappe duel will definitely be one for the ages. Nicolas Otamendi and Christian Romero will certainly have their hands full trying to deal with him. And let's not forget, of course, the threat of Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele, Theo Hernandez coming up from the left. And then, of course, you bring on Marcus Thuram and now Kolo Muani. It'll be certainly tasty, but Argentina will fancy some of their chances given how they've been able to perform well in these past few games. And I'm certainly looking forward to the final on Sunday. I'm looking forward to the third and fourth place clash on Saturday. And of course, those matches will be brought to you here on the Coach's Corner. It will either be with Hanno himself, or maybe I will pop in. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to this tournament having a terrific conclusion. I think it's fair to say that the two best performing teams have now made it to the final, and it has to be said, deservedly so. Commiserations, of course, to Morocco, who have been magnificent all tournament, but they will have a chance to fight for some prestige and pride against a Croatian team. I think both teams might make a few changes. We might see the likes of Domagoj Vida coming on for Croatia. He was, of course, a key part of their run to the final 4 years ago, but has been benched, of course, by Josko Gvardiol and Dejan Lovren. And Marca themselves might make a few changes. Certainly a few of the fringe players who haven't seen many minutes might get some chances to play. And this should be a chance for Morocco again to develop themselves. I will certainly be looking forward to their subsequent AFCON campaigns and also how well they will perform in subsequent tournaments. And hopefully we will see them, of course, in the next tournament. Chances are high because the number of teams has been increased to 48, and that's another sign that we may never see the tournament being hosted in the Middle East again, because it's meant to be a summer tournament, and there is no way that you will have as big or as inflated a tournament done in the winter. So that will certainly be that. But for the moment now, confirmation of the result: France 2, Morocco 0. France versus Argentina in Sunday's final. Morocco against Croatia in Saturday's third and fourth place playoff. Both games should be absolute crackers, and I am looking forward to them. I hope you will too. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Bobby K, who joined in earlier. Chelsea fan, always constant presence. Mystic Werewolf, all the way from the Great White North. And of course, near the end, Del Boy Gunner TV just came on for last few minutes to say hello. I hope your children are safely in bed, mate, and hope they sleep well tonight. I will definitely stay in touch with you. And once again, thanks to all of you who keep coming into the chat and having your say. You're the ones who make this channel what it is. A final reminder to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell button for notifications, and keep up to date with what's happening with this channel. You will get more and more videos covering sporting events of different sports, it must be said, whether it's football or cricket or even maybe a bit of rugby, or certainly maybe some basketball, I don't know. but you will find them here on the Coach's Corner, and I'm really happy to play my part in bringing them all to you in my own way. Until then, this is Manny Thangadurai from the Coach's Corner saying thank you very much for joining in. Have yourselves a good rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you this weekend. Until then, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And for now, I'm out, peeps. Cheers.